Great. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name's Abisola, and I'm here with my colleague Jessica. And what we'll be doing today will be discussing the best ways for you to raise issues using the Alpha and Fixflo integrations. Um, so firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time out of their day today to coming up to this webinar and staying with me and Jessica while we talk you through this. Okay, so thank you everyone for being here. Like I said, my name's Abisola and this is Jessica. She will introduce herself a bit further later. Um,
Perfect. I'm just going to say a quick good morning. So hello, everyone. My name's Jessica and I am a guest on today's webinar. I've come from Fixflo today. I'm the product training manager here, and we are going to be talking about a few things to do with Fixflo, which is why I'm on here. So thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure to be joining this webinar today.
Jessica. So, so like I said, we'll be discussing the best ways to deal with tenants issue using Fixflo as well as Alpha. But like I said, my name is Abisola, and Jessica, thank you for introducing yourself. The webinar will be a duration of 1 hour, which it will be recorded, and the recording will be sent to you by the end of the week. Okay, so let's go to agendas. So we have an agenda for the day, right? So the first agenda, what we want to be discussing is raising issues through the tenant app, also raising the issues manually on Alpha, as well as understanding what tasks and work orders are and how to differentiate between the both of them. Automation, streamlining your work processes. So it's easy to be able to use automations to streamline your work processes. And lastly is Fixflo integration, which Jessica will be discussing with us. She will give more information in regards to the integration of Fixflo to Alpha. And lastly, we'll do a live Q&A, which you will be able to see a button at the end of your screen here, which you'll be able to add in your questions. And with me and Jessica will be happy to answer the questions that you do have. So let's get on with webinar.
So we've got a poll first, haven't we? I think. So Abisola is going to mirror his phone now onto the screen for us. And what he's going to do is we're going to be showing you the tenant app, which sits within Arthur. Now, the reason that he's going to show his phone today is because that is the way that most occupiers do come on to the Arthur app. So we did think that it would be the best way to show you this app. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, I understand that nothing's showing. Not quite sure why the poll's not showing. We'll have a look into that a bit later.
While we do this, I will work on that to make sure we go back onto that. Okay, so we'll go
That's
back.
fine. We'll come back to that later.
Okay.
But for now, he's going to cast his phone on here and we're going to be going through the tenant app. What we're going to be showing you is how occupiers can report issues using the tenant app if you do not, first of all, have the Fixflo integration. And then we're going to be showing it to you as if you do have the Fixflo integration. So we're going to be looking at the difference between an occupier reporting an issue with and without the Fixflo integration. So we're really, really excited to show you this.
Okay, let's go. Here we go.
Sorry, we can't see it on the screen.
There we
Oh,
go.
there we go. Perfect. Excellent. So if you can go to the beginning of the app, please, where an occupier would go to report an issue. Brilliant. Okay. So an issue has been, an occupier has found an issue in their property. They go into the tenant app on Arthur in order to report this. Now, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how this would look if they were not to use the Fixflo integration. So, Abisola, if you could now go as the occupier, please, to report an issue. Excellent. So if you go to report an issue as if we're not using the Fixflo integration, please. So you'd click on Other. Brilliant. This is exactly how it looks when an occupier is reporting a maintenance issue using the Arthur app without the Fixflo integration. So it is very possible. Occupiers can say whether or not the issue is private. If they select here that this is private, that means that only them as the occupier that lives at that property will be able to see the maintenance issue. If they select it not to be private, then other occupiers who are registered as living at that property will be able to see that the issue has been raised. They can also say whether or not it is an emergency. Once they've selected or not selected those options, here they can then add the issue type. And as you can see, this is mandatory. So there are a number of options here. There are 6 options for occupiers. And say, for example, we clicked on bathroom issue, just as an example. Now what they would need to do is add an issue description. So you as an agent would be able to see that this issue type is a bathroom issue, and then you would also be able to see the issue description just underneath. Perfect. So bathroom floor is broken. Further, they can add images or documents just here, and then they could raise the issue. As you can see, they can access their camera directly from this app as well, which is brilliant. We all know the phrase, a picture says 1,000 words. It can really help you as an agent to see exactly what the maintenance issue is. Nice, quick and easy. That is how an occupier reports a maintenance issue on the Arthur app without the Fixflo integration. I hope that was all very clear. Like we say, you do have the Q&A button, so please do ask questions if you have any. And now we're going to move on to showing you how an occupier would report a maintenance issue using the Arthur app, but with the Fixflo integration. So when they go to report an issue, they would click on maintenance, as Abisola just has, and this is the screen that they will see for them now. As you can see, the number of tiles has really increased, so occupiers can get much more granular about what the maintenance issue is when they're using Fixflo. Now, at the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see a little globe. Now, occupiers can report maintenance issues in over 40 languages, and this can really help to break down any language barriers you may be facing. So say for this example, the occupier wanted to report an issue in Spanish, which sits just underneath English there. You can see the entire system will then pull into Spanish for them. They can report the maintenance issue in that language, and everything will get translated back into English for you. So as I mentioned, this can really help to break down any language barriers at all that you may be facing and just help with that kind of communication regarding maintenance issues. So back to the home screen now, it's back into English. And what an occupier would need to do when they find a maintenance issue is they would still be going through your tenant app. So the beauty of having the Fixflo integration is that the Fixflo actually sits within your tenant app. So you don't need to re-educate tenants as to where they go to report issues. They're still going to be logging onto your app and reporting issues in the exact same way. They'll just be choosing the maintenance option instead. Now, one thing we have on Fixflo, which is absolutely brilliant, is we have some guidance and advice pop-ups. Now, these can help to filter out maintenance issues, which should not be coming through to you. Now, these can be occupier responsibilities, and it could also be issues which can actually be fixed first time by the occupier themselves. So there are 2 ways this can help. So as I said, first of all, it can help with occupier responsibilities. Now, examples of occupier responsibilities are things like mildew in the bathroom, batteries and smoke alarms, and also light bulbs and light fittings. These are all examples of issues which should not be coming through to you as an agent, and actually the guidance and advice pop-ups can help to filter these out. So we're going to show you an example of how these guidance and advice pop-ups look. So Abisola, if you could click on bathroom and toilet for me, please. And let's go to bath. So from here, we're going to click on between bath and wall, and we're going to say here that the sealant is discoloured or mouldy. Now, this is an example of a templated pop-up, which is about to display on the screen. Perfect. And this, as you can see, is literally embedded into Fixflo and into the app. So this shows mildew. It has a photo on there as well. This is a templated pop-up that we at Fixflo have created for our agents. And it does say to them, at the bottom line says, removal of mildew is often an occupier's responsibility under the terms of their lease. So at this stage, really and truly, they should cancel out the issue. Before you do that, Abisola, I just want to point out here that these pop-ups are completely customizable. So you can add additional information, you can add videos, photos, and also GIFs. With the photo here, it's super clear to the occupier exactly what mildew is. And you can add information such as good mold removers, where they can buy them, how much they would cost. I've even spoken to customers in the past who have literally got links out to Amazon links saying, please buy this, it will help you clear this drain or fix this mildew, whatever it might be. So these can really, really help, like I say, with occupier responsibilities, which should not be coming through to you. So if we cancel out of this one, I just want to give you another example of how these guidance and advice pop-ups are so brilliant. If you can just go back to the beginning, brilliant. So another example would be issues with first time fixes. Now, a brilliant example of this would be a boiler issue. So Abasolo, if you can click on heating and boiler for me towards the top of the page here, brilliant. And as you can see, it's much, much more granular if you're using Fixflo for occupiers to report issues. They can really let you know exactly what the issue is. It's much less vague, to be honest. So at the top of here, if we can click on electric boiler or heater, and then from here, if we go to electric boiler. Now they come to four final options here. So if we can click on boiler not working, please. This is another example of a templated pop-up. Now this is saying to the occupier, if it is safe and convenient to do so, please perform the following checks on your boiler before reporting the issue. So there's a number of things the occupier can try at home. Really simple things, such as, is there credit in the boiler? Like if they've got a meter. Things such as, is the pressure at the right point? Maybe actually the pressure's got a bit low and it's something they need to resolve. This can really help with tenant education and actually help with maintenance issues moving forward as well as this issue to hand right now. Now, in order to make these pop-ups even stronger, as I say, these are customizable. And what a lot of our agents do is they actually add videos, particularly to issues around boiler issues, because literally the occupier will be able to follow the video. The video will be embedded into the pop-up so it doesn't take them out to another link. They can follow that video and they'll be able to see exactly what the plumber's doing. They'll be able to follow those kind of steps. And actually the issue could get fixed for them, which obviously leads to a really happy occupier. Further, it will save you time as issues will get resolved. It can actually, these tenant guidance and advice pop-ups, can help to resolve around 21% of issues. And also you're saving your landlords money because you won't be sending contractors out for call outs where actually they didn't need to go in the first place. So these guidance and advice pop-ups are absolutely gold. By scrolling down, occupiers can now click continue if they want to. So if there's still an issue, but they've tried all these things at home, they would go to click continue. And the beauty of Fixflo is that you will receive one report with absolutely all of the information on it, meaning you can resolve the issue for the occupier as quickly and efficiently as possible. In saying that, we can see here that some fields are mandatory. So we've got here the appliance type. Now that is automatically generated based on the category the occupier chose. They've also got the make and the model. They are mandatory fields because, again, it will help you as the agent to pass that information directly onto the contractor so they know exactly what boiler it is that's broken. The serial number and the number of flights of stairs to the appliance are both optional fields, and then they must provide the fault detail. In the same way as Arthur, they can also add videos, photos, and also audio files. You can even make that mandatory if you want to. We don't necessarily recommend making that mandatory because not every single maintenance issue does require a photo, but that's basically it. There's much, much more detail required on Fixflo, and we've got those fantastic guidance and advice pop-ups. So I'm really glad I was able to show you those. I do hope that was a helpful introduction to how the tenant app works in terms of occupiers reporting maintenance issues, looking at how it looks between just as Arthur and then with the Fixflo integration as well. And Abasolo, I believe we now have a slide on Fixflo, so we can just kind of have those points on the screen, and then we're going to try to launch another poll. Brilliant. I'm now going to hand over to Abasola to go through the rest of the webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm gonna leave the poll running just to get as much information as possible. So what I will be talking about now is I will be talking about how to raise an issue as a manually on Arthur, just because my colleague has showed you how you would do it through the app. So now, if you bear with me 1 second, I'm just going to pull this up. So this is my Arthur account, my test account, which I'll be showing you how to add the issues manually if you was going to. Also, how to add either a work order or a task to the issue that's been created by the tenant, right? So if a tenant has created an issue on the app, what would happen is it would sync onto your author page onto this section here that says new tenant issues. From then you can just go into the issue that's been raised by the tenant, which Jessica, this is the issue we just raised just now. So what we could do right now is we could either add a work order to this, or we could add a task to this, right? Which would then carry the issues further. We'll take the issues further. Okay. So what I will do now is so this is the issue here. So what I can do here is I can either add a work order to this here or add a task. But even before I continue, I will tell you the difference between a work order and a task. A task is more for internal purposes. It's if you wanted to assign a task and responsibility to someone from your team, then you would apply a task. But if you need an external person to come into and fix that issue for you, then you would attach a work order to this issue that's been created by the tenant, right? So when the tenant's created the issue, all you need to do is you need to go into the section there if you needed to add a work order to it, and then you put the title of the job. So it could be a broken floor. And the description is very important just because this is what the contractor will see to be able to know what's going on with the issue or the job that's been raised assigned to them, right? So in the description section, all you have to put there is just a little summary of what's going on. So it could be the bathroom floor is damaged. And with the work order service, all you need to do here, you need to select a service. So this could be whether you need a maintenance person, whether you needed someone who's from the plumbing sector, or say you needed an accountant, or even an architect can be added as a work order service. So in this case, let's say we need a general maintenance person to come in and fix the floor of the bathroom, right? So with the work order time setting here, it's just to have as much information in regards to this job as possible. So you can add the start date, you can add the due date, the date you want it to be due, you can add the work order budget, you can add an allocated hours, the actual time it will take to complete, and the price per hour, right? You can also add images to this, right? So here's how this will work, right? So you add an image to this, and this can sync through to the contractor, they will be able to see the issues just before they leave to solve the issue, right? So if they know that they need a specific equipment they need to take with them, they'll be able to do so by knowing what the issue is in first place. The settings, if this is an emergency, you just need to tick this button here. This will highlight it on the list just to show that it's an emergency work. You can also add tenants details from the contractor if you choose and you do not want your contractors to be able to communicate with the tenants of your properties. Once you tick that box, what would happen is it would remove any personal information or any contact information that's attached to that tenant from the contractors to see, right? You can share the unit and the property access details with a signed contractor. So say, for example, if you needed a specific code entry to code to enter a building, a property, and you've added this code onto the system, you can show the contractor what the code is or whether a key has been locked in a certain safe area. So the contractor will have the ability to be able to see this and to be able to move accordingly, right? So with the tenants, share documents and images with tenants. So any information that's been added here could be shared with the tenant as well. Work order visible to tenants. So when a work order has been added onto this task or to this issue that's been raised by the tenant, you could let them know or you can make the work order visible for them so they will be able to see that it's been raised, right? Property owner. So if you wanted to share this with your property owner as well, you're able to, just by ticking this box, it would share the issues with the property owner. And lastly, notifying the property manager, right? So if you wanted maybe assign property manager to know that this worker that's been created or added to this issue that's been created by the tenant, you just have to tick this box. And what would happen is the property manager would be notified. Once this is all done, we just have to save work order and continue to contractors. Okay, so this page here, we're adding a contractor. So we're just assigning a contractor onto this job. This is a list of my test contractors that I've got in the system. I could just choose Jed, this here, and invite the contractor. Once I've invited this contractor, a notification should have been sent to the contractor to say they've been assigned to this job. And then the contractor from their end, what they can do is they can then decide whether they want to accept the job or decline the job. Once they've accepted the job, you get the option on this page to set this to live, right? So this will set to live. And once this sets to live, that just shows that the work has begun, right? That can further with the status in regards to once it's been completed, they can set it as complete on their end as the contractor can as well, or you can set it on behalf of the contractor if they're not using the contractor app, right? So that's raising the issue manually on Arthur. The next on the agenda is using automation. Sorry, let me now show you how to add a task to the issue that's been raised by the tenant. So let's go back to this page here.
Do you think we should just try very quickly to launch the poll?
So what I was going to be discussing next is adding a task onto issues raised by a tenant. So if we go onto the screen, the lettings dashboard again, and we go to new tenant issues, this will show up on here as the issue has been raised by a tenant. What you can then do is you can go into the issue here, right? And then you can decide you want to either add a work order or you wanted to add a task, right? So the task has already been created here, but when an issue has been raised, it automatically goes to the task section on Alpha, which it creates the task itself in the first place. What you can then do is you can add a work order to it. You can also assign this, so you can go to edit task here and assign this to a particular property manager, right? So you could choose one of your property managers and assign it to them. So they will be in charge of completing this task. And you save it. So that's how you would add a task as well as adding a work order. The difference, like I said, tasks is more for internal use for people on your team, and work orders is more for external users. So inviting a contractor onto the job. Okay, so next on the agenda is showing you how automations will streamline your work process. And how that will work is by going into the automations page, right? So once I go into my automations page, what I can do is I can go to the work order section here, and I can decide on what automated responses, automated messages I want sent out to either the contractor or to the tenants, right? So when a tenant has just raised an issue onto Alpha, there's specific automations that get sent out to them. So it could be just something such as, let's go to work order raised. So new work order added. So when a new work order is added, a notification to the property manager has been set up on this account, which will show the email that goes out to the property manager. So just to say, a new work order has been created for the unit, as well as we can, when it's been accepted, let's go to when work order has been accepted. Okay, so when work order has been accepted and by contractor to quote, another email would get sent out to the property manager just to say the contractor has accepted a quote or has given a quote. So this is just simple ways that you can use automations to streamline your work process, so you don't have to be manually sending out emails or messages to the contractors to say, okay, received, understood that you've accepted and you've sent us a quote. This just does it by itself. Okay, so that's how automations would streamline your work process. Let's go to the PowerPoint. Okay, and I would ask Jessica to come up again and just to talk a little bit about the Fixflo integration. Just
Perfect. Yeah. So we've spoken about the Fixflo integration. We've showed you how it looks within the tenant app. As I say, it will sit within the tenant app, and it's just a really brilliant way for you to add guidance and advice pop-ups to help filter out maintenance issues and also get that full report with everything on it. You will have a more granular report, which will allow you to resolve the issue even quicker using the workflows, which Abisola has just shown you. So we've raised the poll before. If you did answer yes, brilliant. We will be in touch with you. Thank you so much for saying that you would like us to reach out. If you said no, but you change your mind, no worries at all. Just to let you know, when you've come out of this webinar this morning, there will be a quick feedback form, and on there you can actually add some information as well. If you change your mind, pop it in there and we'll be able to see that, and we will of course reach out to you as well. If you are leaving, when you do leave us today, we would like to just ask you to please provide some feedback. We absolutely love to hear how you got on today. As we say, feedback is invaluable, so we would love to hear just how you got on and what made the webinar good and what could make it even better. We would love to hear from you. Please be honest with your feedback. It will also go up to higher management as well. Brilliant. That poll that was open on the feedback, if we can just close that one now, if it hasn't been already.
Sure. That's that.
Brilliant. I think we left quite a lot of time for the Q&A. Am I right in thinking that?
Yes, we have.
Brilliant. No questions have come in. Somebody did ask a question earlier, which I sent a message back on saying that it only gave 10 minutes apart from premium. What does that mean? And that was to do with the software which we used in order to show Abisola's phone on the screen. As we say, the reason we did that is because most occupiers do use their mobile phone to get into the tenant app. I mean, I've got my phone here. I'm sure you all have yours there. It's so easy for people just to be able to pick up their phone and report maintenance issues. It means they can do it anytime on the train if they haven't got their laptop there. That's why we wanted to show it to you like that. So that software only allowed 10 minutes because he's on the he's not on the premium one. But no other questions have come through. I'm hoping that's because everything has been crystal clear. We will stay online just for a few more minutes in case anybody does have any questions, because like we say, it is a fantastic opportunity to ask anything related to both Fixflo and Arthur. We'd be happy to hear from you today. And we will send this recording out to you all by the end of play this week. So you'll be able to share it with other members of your team. You'll be able to rewatch any sections if you like. And also, Fixflo will reach out to those who have asked as well. So we'll be so happy to be in touch with you and go through even more regarding Fixflo. Brilliant. A question has come in. I have a question regarding the live feed bank. Is that all right to ask in here?
Unfortunately, no, because I'm more functionality. If you wanted to ask questions about the live feed, I would suggest you either come on to our offer support or book a tutorial.
Okay, Brittany, I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for your question. I'm sorry that we weren't able to answer that today. Brilliant, excellent. Thank you so much. Questions are coming in now. I do recommend that you stay around for the Q&A because a question that somebody else has might be a question that you also have. So please do stick around. You can also ask anonymously if you wanted to. That's no problem at all. If you are leaving us though, thank you so much for joining us both today. It's been a real pleasure having you on here. I'd like to wish you as well a Merry Christmas. Christmas is only a couple of weeks away now. Don't know how it's crept up on us. But I really hope you've enjoyed our webinar series, well, Arthur's webinar series this year. Arthur and Fixflo do work very, very closely together, just to let everyone know. Excellent, Brittany. Thank you so much for your question. The next question has come in from an anonymous attendee. Hello, thank you for joining us. I would like a webinar with more in-depth information on the automation, how to set up the fields on the email sent, etc., their meaning. These instructions are very easy. Sometimes more information is needed to be taught. Thank you so much for your feedback. We will take that on board. Also in the survey, let us know if there's anything that you would like us to run, well, if you'd like Arthur to run webinars on. Also, if you're a Fixflo customer, feel free to say what you'd like a Fixflo webinar on as well. Like I say, we do work very, very closely together. We're owned by the same company. So that's why we work so closely together. So thank you for your feedback. We will take that on board, and Abisola, he will take that back to higher management in order to see if that's something that can be, presented in the new year.
Yeah, just to further that as well, Jessica.
Yeah.
In regards to more information about automation, another suggestion I will be able to give to you is coming onto the live chat. You depending on what package you are with Arthur determines the type of or the amount of tutorials and trainings you're entitled to on a monthly basis. So I would suggest you take the offer of a tutorial whereby someone could show you how to use your automations to best suit your work process and to be able to set it up and show you how to set it up as well. So if you just jump into the live chat or book a tutorial, one of our the team members will be able to show you that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Marina, hello. Thank you for joining us today. What is Fixflo? Great question. So Fixflo is it's basically somewhere where occupiers can report maintenance issues, and we do also have other packages where you can resolve maintenance issues as well on the system. Fixflo Basic, which is where occupiers report maintenance issues, that is what integrates with Arthur, and then the issue would actually be resolved in Arthur using the works orders, the automations, etc., which Abisola has just gone through. So we did show Fixflo in the beginning. It is a way for occupiers to report maintenance issues, and it's even more granular. You can also embed guidance and advice pop-ups into that reporting tool so that occupiers are actually guided and they're educated as well with issues that should not be coming through to you as an agent, and also issues where they can self-resolve them at home. A good example is the boiler issue. We will be sending this recording, so if you did miss that beginning bit, we will be sending it out to you. Also, there was a poll asking, would you like somebody at Fixflo to get in touch with you to see if you would like to have a demonstration? If you answered no on that, or if you missed that poll, just put in the feedback, or even just put on this chat here, and I'd be so happy to get somebody to reach out to you to get some more information over to you. I hope that makes sense though. It's a brilliant way for occupiers to report issues. It sits within the tenant app on Arthur, so you don't need to re-educate your occupiers to say, we've got a new way occupiers are reporting issues. Everything stays the same. Thank you. Okay, Lee, hello. Thanks for joining us. Will the tenant have two choices on their app? If they press the wrong button, if not Fixflo, then what happens? Abisola, do you know the answer to this?
Yeah, I believe it would raise the issue on Arthur. I'm not sure how we would then be able to sort of convert it to the Fixflo side of things. But what I can definitely do, Lee, is I can reach out to a few members of the team to see what could possibly happen once if they created the wrong if they used the wrong company to create the maintenance issue. So what I will do is I will get back to you, Lee, on that. If you'd like just to put your email in the chat.
We'll have it. Don't worry.
Okay,
We'll get
so
the email from
that's fine,
the
Lee.
survey. Don't worry.
I'll get back to you on that via email, Lee.
Brilliant. That's a really good question, though, Lee. I completely see where you're coming from. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get back to you on that one. Thank you so much. The next question is from Jill. Jill, good morning. Our tenants say it is difficult to add pictures to tasks raised. Also not possible to add videos. Is this normal? Is this with the Fixflo integration, Jill? And when you say tasks raised, do you mean when they're reporting an issue? Is it that they're reporting an issue using Fixflo, or are they reporting an issue using Arthur? Please let us know. Abisola, is it possible as well for occupiers to report issues with a video on Arthur without the Fixflo
Yes,
integration?
on Alpha, you could definitely take a video. You just have to take it on your phone first and then attach it. But yeah, that is possible.
Okay, so they just use Arthur, not Fixflo. So it is possible for them to add a video.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
possible to add a video.
Okay, so she's saying that their tenants are saying it's difficult to do
We
this, to
can
add
check,
photos, and also not possible to add videos. Do you think
we could try
someone can get back to
testing it
her?
together. Let me try and test it. So what I could do, Jill, I'm very aware of who you are, Jill. So what I'll do is, if you come onto the live chat, I'll raise I'll do a call with you just now where we can test it together. And I'll be able to show you how to do it from the tenant's perspective.
Brilliant. Jill, hopefully that will resolve that for you. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining us again. Stephania, hello. I think you mean Cube integration app fixed? Is QuickBooks still being supported by Arthur in the new year? This is one for you, Abisola.
I wouldn't know that. The QuickBooks integration, I would suggest you maybe reach out to the API team. They're the ones in charge of the integration of QuickBooks what I could do is I could reach out to you as well by giving you the email address for the API team. You just email them and they'll get back to you on that.
Okay, so we'll reach out to you with that email address. Perfect. Sorry, we couldn't quite answer that on here. We do our best to answer every question that comes through. Sometimes we don't know all the answers on top of our head, or we might not be the expert in quite that field, but we will get that over to you. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, and thank you for coming today. Brilliant. That's all the questions answered. What we'll do is, because a surge just came in, any more, let us know. We'll stay on until Q2. If you're leaving us now, as we say, please take a minute just to fill out that survey so that we can get some feedback from you. We would really, really appreciate that. We love to hear how everybody got on. And yeah, I'm going to sign off now until Q2. In case any questions come in, we'll just stay online. But thank you so much. Okay, another question's come in. Stephanie, yes, I think I heard from an occupant that it was that to upload media on tasks, it was issues for her. I do apologise for that. Yeah, no worries. If you're also struggling the same as Jill, maybe do exactly what Abisola said. If you can reach out on the chat, maybe he can have a chat with you as well.
Yeah,
Abisola, are you happy to do that?
I'll schedule a call with you, Stephania, as well as Jill, where I'll be able to show you how that works.
Brilliant.
Yeah, share my
Obviously,
screen.
uploading media is so, so important. So we do want them to make sure that works for you.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for your input there. Brilliant. Okay, excellent. Thanks so much. Okay, another question's come in. Abisola, I believe this is for you. It's from Stephania again. Thank you so much for your question or your feedback, really. It would be good to have the option for different relationships to a same task. Is that something you can take back to the team?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't believe this happens currently. But what I can do is I can raise this as a suggestions to the higher up team to see if this is something we can implement and add to our process.
Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, it's nearly Q2. I think we're going to log off now. Thank you so much to everyone that came. It's been a real pleasure going through everything Fixflo with you. So thank you for having me today, Abisola.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica, for your help. Thank you.
So welcome. All right, have a lovely Christmas all.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, guys. Thank you. Have a good day, guys. Thanks. Bye.